What happens when the person you trust most becomes the very source of your greatest fear? Kylee Monteiro was just 18, young, hopeful, and carrying new life within her. She should have been dreaming about baby names, decorating a nursery, and building a future. Instead, her final words weren't dreams or promises, but a chilling message to her sister. If I die, it was Greg. Kylee wasn't just another name in a headline. She was someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's friend. At 18, life was just beginning to unfold before her. She loved laughing with her sister late into the night. She dreamed of raising her baby, surrounded by love, and she held on to the small joys that kept her grounded, like journaling, music, and imagining what kind of mother she would be. Her pregnancy wasn't just an accident. For Kylee, it was a new chapter, one she embraced with courage despite her youth. She wanted her baby. She was 11 weeks along, and she told her sister she already felt a bond growing, a little heartbeat anchoring her in a world that often felt uncertain. And like many young women, Kylee believed in love. She wanted to believe in Gregory Groom, her boyfriend, the man she thought would stand beside her in this new life. At times, he could be charming, attentive, and protective. There were moments where Kylee felt safe in his arms, convinced that the storms in her life could be weathered together. But under the surface, shadows lurked. Gregory Groom was 22, older, with a roughness about him that seemed to attract Kylee in the beginning. He carried himself with the kind of confidence that can feel magnetic when you're young and searching for stability. To her family, though, something didn't feel right. They noticed how his words could turn sharp, how his presence sometimes seemed more suffocating than supportive. Kylee brushed it off, the way many do. He just cares too much, she would say. Or he gets angry, but he doesn't mean it. There's a cruel truth about abusive relationships. It rarely begins with violence. It starts with small controls. Don't talk to him. Why are you wearing that? Stay home instead. What feels at first like protectiveness slowly transforms into possession. And for Kylee, the line between love and fear blurred more each day. Still, she wanted to believe in Gregory. She wanted a family with him, but the cracks couldn't stay hidden forever. On August 6th, 2025, something shifted. Kylee and Gregory argued. What began as words escalated into violence. That night, Kylie's phone buzzed with desperate messages to her sister. He threw me on the ground. He pulled my hair. He strangled me. And then the words, no one ever forgets. If I die, it was Greg. This wasn't teenage drama. This was a young woman, pregnant and terrified, trying to record her truth in case she never had another chance. She was reaching for a lifeline. Her sister begged her to leave, begged her to find safety. But like so many caught in the cycle of abuse, Kylie's heart was torn between fear and hope. Maybe he'll change. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe the love she thought she saw in him would return. But tomorrow never came. By August 7th, Kylee was gone. She was last seen near County Street in Rehoboth after leaving a shelter for pregnant women. Her family grew frantic when her phone went silent. At first, Gregory himself reported her missing. He spoke to police, playing the role of the worried boyfriend. For nearly 2 weeks, search teams scoured the town. K-9 units traced paths. Drones circled the woods. Volunteers combed fields and trails, clinging to the hope that Kylee was still alive. But deep down, her sister couldn't shake the words of that text. If I die, it was Greg. On August 19th, the search ended in the most horrific way imaginable. Investigators confronted Gregory again, and this time, his story unraveled. He admitted to what everyone feared. He stabbed Kylee twice in the neck, once in the chest, with such force that the blade of the kitchen knife broke off inside her. Then, in cold calculation, he buried her on his family's property, just 20 yards from a shed, 5 feet underground. When words weren't enough, he drew a map, leading detectives to her final resting place. The girl who should have been planning her future was found hidden beneath the soil, silenced by the man she trusted most. And with her, the unborn child she would never get to hold. News spread quickly. Shock turned to sorrow, and sorrow turned to rage. On August 24th, more than 100 people gathered in Rehoboth at a candlelit vigil, named the Vigil of Hope. Friends, neighbors, even strangers lit candles, released balloons, and spoke her name aloud. They refused to let her be remembered as just a victim. They wanted her remembered as a daughter, a sister, and a young mother who loved deeply. The community wept not just for Kylee, but for the silence she endured before it was too late. They wept for the warning signs overlooked, for the future stolen, for the child who would never be born. And in their grief, a painful truth came forward. Kylee's story was not an isolated tragedy. It was part of a much bigger epidemic. Domestic abuse, the quiet shadow that thrives in secrecy and silence. Kylee's life teaches us something we cannot ignore. Love should never hurt. Love should never leave bruises or tears or texts that sound like goodbyes. And yet, for so many, it does. Her words, "If I die, it was Greg," should haunt us. Not just because they were prophetic, but because they were preventable. We live in a world where too often, young women cry out in whispers, warning us of their danger while society tells them to just work it out or give him another chance. Kylee deserved better. Every victim of abuse deserves better. Her story is not just one of loss, it is a call to action, a reminder to listen when someone says they feel unsafe, to believe survivors, to intervene before silence becomes a grave. Kylee Monteiro was 18. She was pregnant. She had dreams, laughter, and love to give. And now, she's gone. But her story remains, not to sensationalize her pain, but to remind us all, we must see the signs, we must hear the cries, and we must never stay silent in the face of abuse. If Kylee's story moved you, share it. Keep her name alive. And if you or someone you know is caught in the shadows of an unsafe relationship, reach out for help, for hope, for life. This is not just Kylee's story. It's a reminder of how fragile and how precious every life truly is. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing. Not for me, but to keep these voices alive. To never forget the names behind the headlines.